Alright, elemental effect damage. In Borderlands 2, this is one of those things that can either be quite good or it can be not worth worrying about, depending on what gun you're holding in your hand and what you're shooting at the time. Alright, to start off with, I think it's a really good idea to sort of clear up something that's a bit of a myth in this department. Okay, the Shredder Fire has got the fastest fire rate in the game. When you're looking at the stat card, yes, it's 100% true, but when you're talking about elemental effect damage, it's not quite the case. The percent chance listed for your elemental effect damage on a stat card is percent per bullet. Okay, so when you're looking at something like Miss Moxie's Heartbreaker, where you've got your 3.6 fire rate, but you've got 10 pellets, you've got an effective fire rate of 36. Every trigger pull gives you 10 chances to set something on fire. Right, now the other way of looking at that is what you can do is you take the number of pellets and you can times that by your elemental effect chance, which will basically give you your total percentage. I don't like looking at it that way because it all depends on how many pellets hit on what the actual percentage is. This means that the accuracy of the gun also matters. Okay, as I said earlier, fire rate matters because it's a chance per hit. Now, if you've only got a gun that fires slowly, you don't get that many chances to apply the effect, based on the percentage of the gun. Okay, so your fire rate does matter. So, compared to the occasional shot we were doing before, to some just hold the trigger down action. So it's pretty easy to see that the damage over time effects stack. You're not just sustaining the burn damage as listed on the gun, you're stacking it one on top of the other. And as you see, it builds up to quite a large amount of damage. So now we'll use the shotgun with a much slower refire, but a lot of bullets at once, and as you can see, that burn damage stacks up very quickly. It is all about the number of bullets you can get hitting a target as to how much DPS that burn damage is going to add to your gun. Alright, to show you exactly what I mean, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap over to a Maliwan pistol, which has 2 chances per shot to ignite a target, but a much slower fire rate. So while your burn damage will build up over time, as you can see, it's not going to stack up as fast as the shotgun or the really fast firing pistol. Okay, theory's all very well and good, but let's put it into practice and see how it works for you. I'm going to head to Southpaw Steam and Power. I know it's a pretty easy little instance to conquer, but I happen to like it, and it seems to like throwing me Teddy or Plasma Casters. One of the things you're going to see is that elemental effect damage isn't wonderful against regular trash. It will actually do good damage if given a chance, and I'll show you that in a minute, but as a general rule, it's a better play option to take out an enemy and stop it shooting at you than wait for it to burn to death, just to reduce that incoming damage. That's not to say it doesn't help you at all. So let's slow that last bit down and we'll have another look. Okay, so the first thing I do is just pepper this area, get some guys burning and let them burn to death. Okay? Saves me a shotgun shell. That guy's killed outright. There we go again. Burned to death. Saves me a shell to finish him off. Alright, that's one of the biggest benefits you're going to get out of elemental effect damage. Between elemental damage bonuses doing more damage to what they're supposed to be doing damage to, and that burning to death or corroding to death while you reload is one of the things you can do to save yourself quite a lot of ammo. Where elemental effect damage is going to be the most benefit to you though is where you've got tougher enemies that can stand up to some punishment. Okay? You've got time to build up those stacks and get the DPS up there. It really can make a difference on things like badasses or these tougher human bosses where you can make it stick and they're going to be there long enough that it's going to do a significant amount of damage. No? 3,605.9 burn damage per second at level 50, okay, it doesn't sound like much until you understand that you can have 10 of them running. And once you got 10 of them running, there's 36,000 DPS, which is nothing to sneeze at. I think it's pretty easy to tell from all this that elemental effect damage is unlikely to bring you any huge game-changing benefit. If you've got the right gun and you're attacking the right target, it can be really useful. If you're willing to let things burn to death, or things happen to burn to death while you're loading, well, it can save you a fair bit of ammo, which is also nothing to sneeze at. What's really worth understanding out of all this is if you have, a fast refire elemental weapon, the stat card isn't really telling you the full story. Okay, that burn damage is going to stack up, and despite what the damage per hit and the refire rate is, it might be doing more damage than a higher DPS gun that's not elemental. Worth keeping in mind, not necessarily worth banking on. I hope that helps you understand Borderlands 2 a little bit better and helps you have a little bit more fun if you've been struggling with it, especially in True Vault Hunter mode. See you next time.